Hello and welcome to Asis Golf and this week's review. I'm looking at this, the Cobra Ltdx LS fairway wood, specifically the 3-wood. Two reasons for this. Number one, myself, I want to put a 3-wood in the bag, currently using a 5-wood from TaylorMade, which is great, but the distance is pretty similar to my 3 hybrid, to be honest. And the whole reason I have a 5-wood in the bag is because it gets me more carry for, well, winter golf over here in the UK where it's wet, horrible, you don't get much rollout. Now I'm in spring, it's drying up a little bit. Weather's still not great here south of London, but I am definitely going to, in the next couple of months, be able to get a lot more rollout, which means 3-wood for me is perfect. Yes, carry wise, might not get the same amount, but this thing's going to roll and roll and roll and roll and roll, which is perfect because it means that hopefully I'm going to be around greens more than par fives, or maybe even on them. Have a few, eagle shots this year. And definitely means, if I don't make the eagle, I'm definitely going to be getting a lot more birdies, which is obviously going to help with everything, help drop down that handicap and obviously help better scores. So really excited about that, and that's why I'm looking at 3-wood. And also the second reason is because I think the whole LTDX range, to be fair, when it comes down to fairway woods, could be an absolute steal right now if you're looking to go get yourself fitted or buy a brand new fairway wood. Because let's be honest, technology, I always say it, in drivers, in irons, etc., hasn't changed that much over the years, and it's especially the case when it comes down to fairway woods. So there you go, and I'll discuss the price when we get to the ACS Golf Scale. So as always, we'll have a close look at this club, come back here, go through all the technology that's in it, get down to the range, throw some figures at you, and then we'll come back here for the ACES Golf Scale. And remember, guys, before we have a closer look at this club, if you're new to the channel or returning, and if you've obviously watched quite a few videos, do remember to hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on any upcoming reviews and other videos I have planned over the next coming weeks, especially when the weather gets a little bit nicer. I'm still waiting for it. Anyway, let's have a closer look at this club. So there you go, and a great looking club. I think Cobra makes some really good looking clubs over the years, especially this year with dark speed, all blacked out. Currently have the X in the bag, to be fair, beautiful thing. And it's also just the shape as well. It's the shape of the club. It's a good looking fairway wood behind the ball. There's some you get really big profiles I don't particularly like. This for me is really good. Now let's get into the technology because there is a lot in there. So let's try and get through it as quickly as possible so we can get down the range. So let's go into it. So lower spin with higher forgiveness. So power core technology, which is there, positions a substantial amount of weight low and forward for faster ball speed with reduced spin. With most of its weight positioned forward, the LS model features the lowest spin and most workability of the 3 models. So remember, you got the LTDX and you got the LTDX Max. Our hottest face design. So there you go, hot face, which they now use in all their drivers as well. Originally, they did have a hot face, but they also had it CNC milled. So we'll see it there, but now they got rid of the CNC milled because of a new power bridge at the bottom. So a little bit off track there, but so our hottest face design, so new hot face design, it is tuned for speed using machine learning. Using data from thousands of impact simulations, we've created multiple zones with perfect thickness to increase ball speed across a larger area of the face. So variable thickness basically across the face, as most companies do as well. So the idea is you get more sweet spots. It's just not just one sweet spot. There's multiple there, to make that club and that face more forgiving. Lighter and more stable, so a lighter carbon crown, or just really sick. It's matte on the top, which I love, by the way. I don't like shiny crowns, never have done. I always find them quite distracting when the sun's beaming on them in a nice summer's day. Lighter and more stable, as I mentioned, so lighter carbon crown allows more weight to be repositioned low and forward in the power core to maximize speed and stability. So again, you can tell this is an LS, low spin version because everything is being shunted forward, all the ways forward to keep that spin low. Obviously aftermarket premium shafts, they're saying, but of course it's Cobra, so you would expect that being a big brand. Going into sort of the difference here, so you had the LS model, spin low, launch low, forgiveness medium. The LTDX fairway, which is sort of the middle ground one for the multiple players, spin low, launch medium, forgiveness high. It's still low spin. They're still trying to keep that spin low throughout, because the last thing you need is to hit a fairway, have a balloon in the air and go nowhere because the spin's too high. And then you've got the LTD Max fairway, so spin low to mid, launch high, forgiveness extreme. And the LTD Max, obviously, you had a weight there, the weight at the back, to have that draw bias. Let's have a now just go into again the tech overview and just delve more into that technology. So Power Core technology. Power Core technology is a multi-material weighting system that positions as much weight as possible low and forward. The weighting system utilizes a tungsten internal weight and an aluminium external weight. So this is the aluminium external weight that you can see here, and then you've got tungsten inside. That is positioned right behind the hitting zone to transfer maximum speed to the golf ball at impact with reduced spin. Also said addition of a 12-gram weight perfectly balances low spin with high launch and extreme forgiveness for ultimate distance. I don't know why they mentioned that. I'm assuming that's in the LTDX model because obviously you do not have a weight at the back of the LS. Progressive baffler rails. So this is the rails on the bottom of the club to help with turf interaction. The 3-wood features no rails to account for a sweeping shallow swing, while the F5, so 5-wood, features pronounced rails to improve turf interactions for steeper swings. The idea is a 3-wood, your average, your normal players can be using a 3-wood maybe off the tee as a driver replacement if it's a tight fairway, and maybe not all the time off the fairway, where fairway wood majority of the time is going to be used, on the fairway. Bit more sort of different usage. It's a little bit smaller the head, so it's a bit more versatile. And that's why they put the rails on that one to help with that turf interaction, which is quite good. Nice progressive sort of set, which a lot of companies are doing now when it comes down to the fairway wood. It's not just, here's your 3-wood. The only difference between your 3-wood and 5-wood is the 3-wood's loft. The head shape changes, the size changes. Like I said, the baffler rails changes. So it's quite good that they sort of progress the set as you go through. Going to adjustable weighting, so you have two adjustable weights here. A heavy 12-gram and a light 3-gram can be positioned in the heel for toe and toe position. Position the 12-gram heavy weight in the toe. So if you put it in the toe, would add a max fade bias. It's 3 to 4 yards, it says on here. Interesting. Or on the heel for a neutral to fade bias flight. And that's what I found with this, to be fair, because I've had the 12 on the toe, and my shot normally is quite is a draw, really. Sometimes it can be too much of a draw, so you could call it a push. But I found, especially on the golf course, this has stayed out really nice and straight. And every now and again, even with a little fade, I did find it quite easily to, to fade this if I needed to. But it's really good because that 12 weight's there. So if I was finding I was overdrawing it too much, I can move that 12 weight onto the heel and, again, the toe, and change that ball flight. Will it change it by 3 to 4 yards? I don't know, to be honest. But overall, with the weight there, it is still quite neutral because the club head, I wouldn't say it's not closed. Not like some fairway is closed. It's a little bit open anyway because it is a better player's club. So yeah, no, I think adjustable weighting is a really cool factor in there, to be fair, and I do like that in most golf clubs. Because as you know, as you get a better player, your swing might change or your attack angle might change, etc. And it just means, your favourite club, you don't necessarily get it out the bag because you can change the weights on it. Anyway, now moving on to hot face technology again. So using machine learning, we've created a new variable thickness design that's tuned for speed. Hot stands for highly optimized topology. So using data from thousands of impact simulations, we've optimized thickness in multiple zones to maximize ball speed across a larger area of the face. These zones create visual peaks and valleys that resemble a topology map. Sorry, I probably pronounced that wrong, which is how the design got its name. So, a map of all the mountains and stuff like that. So there you go, when you're looking down the visual graph. So, very cool. Specifications, I will say, so 3 words, you could get this as obviously 3-wood 15 degrees. You can loft it down to 13 degrees or all the way up to 16. And with the adjustability on the shaft, there you go. And you can also put it in a draw setting, so 13.5 all the way up to 15.5 draw setting. And then the 5-wood, you can go all the way down to 16 and then go all the way up to 19 and again change the draw, so 16.5 draw setting to an 18.5 draw setting. But this is where it gets a little bit interesting here, what I really quite like, because as I said, it is a progressive set. So the 3-wood here is 169cc head. The 5-wood is smaller, it's 143cc, to give that more workability, to make the club more versatile, so you can hit it from different lies on the fairways, etc. While obviously the 3-wood is just a power beast, bigger head, so that 169cc, tool shape as well. Definitely this LS, to use on the tee, or to use when you're right in the middle of the fairway, you just got a straight shot at that green on a long par 5, which is very cool. I like the way they've done that. So there you go. There's all the technology that is in the Cobra Ltdx LS. Quite a bit, as you'd expect from Cobra. Now let's get down to range. I'm going to throw some figures at you, and then we're going to come back here and go through the Asis golf scale. And believe me, the performance is good. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, let's get down to range. So let's jump into those figures. Now for me, with a 3-wood, I'm looking for around 230 total yards on average. Now with this Ltdx LS, I had a carry on average of 202 yards, total distance of 234 yards, ball speed 140 miles per hour, launch angle 9 and height 52. So really very happy with those figures there. The longest on the day actually was a carry of 216 yards, total distance of 246 yards, ball speed of 145 miles per hour. And there was twice actually that I got over that 240 mark and had a ball speed around 145 miles per hour. So really, really impressed with the total distance of this club. It does exactly what I want it to do. There was a few shots that I will say did drop down quite a bit. I had one that was only a total distance of 223 yards and the ball speed was 133 miles per hour, so quite a bad drop there. But for me, it was an awful hit. One thing I will say as well is the workability of this club is great. That previous shot there you saw, I did manage to fade it when I needed to, so overall very happy. So there you go, some fantastic figures for this, to be honest. On average, 230 yards is what I'm looking for my 3-wood. 234 yards, all right, only 4 yards over it, and we'll get into that later on. But longest on the day, 246 total yards. I had a 241 yard one as well. Ball speed 145 miles per hour as well. I hit a few times. It's a beast. This thing is an absolute beast. So our average ball speed is 140 miles per hour, but still it's a beast. Launch 9, roughly about what I'd expect, to be honest, when it comes down to 3-wood for me, and height 52, and carry 202 on average. So not that bad, to be fair, at all. I wouldn't expect my carry to be that much more with a 3-wood, especially with my attack angle, the way I hit the ball. I don't really pop it up in the air. That's why I only have a 3-wood in the bag during summer, because in winter it wouldn't go anywhere, because it just wouldn't get up in the air. Anyway, let's get into the Asis golf scale then. So for me, remember, we got distance, feel, looks, price, and forgiveness. 5 being the best, 1 being the worst. So distance for me with this, it's a 5 out of 5. It's an absolute rocket. I'm getting pretty much close to driver numbers when I hit this really well. To be fair, on average, my driver's around 250, probably a little bit more nowadays, but still, this longest was 246, and I definitely felt there's even more in the tank with this. So really happy with that. Very impressed with it when it comes down to distance. So that's why I've given it a 5. And it's exactly what you want. It's a low spin bomber. That bigger profile on the head. It's just great. It really is great. Feel, 4 out of 5. I've always liked the feel of the more modern Cobra equipment. To be fair, I like the older Cobra equipment. I remember I reviewed the LTD driver from a few years back. I really enjoyed the feel from that as well. And same with this, it feels hot, it feels powerful. I can tell roughly where I miss it as well, to be fair. Makes really good sound. I love the sound of it. and you can tell the sound does change when you don't hit one of those sweet spots. But for me, it just feels great, feels solid, just it's awesome, and I really like it. Just quickly go into workability of it as well. Like I said, you can fade it, you can draw it, you can, you can do everything you need to do with it. To be fair, workability is great with it, and turf interaction is really good. To be fair, I have taken this out on the golf course a few times now, and when I've hit it off the fairway, I've had some really good turf interactions and some really good outcomes, even though it is still wet and it's not rolling anywhere. I was really, really happy with it. So feel 4 out of 5. Looks, I'm giving this a 4.5 out of 5. I love the look of this, and it's not just the bottom and the colours. I really do like the colours and the names and the head cover. I think the head cover is great. I just really like the profile of it. I really like that profile. I like the black mat on the top. I like the little C there for the Cobra. I like that more sort of tall shape. To be fair, and you can sort of just see the carbon coming throughout the top. So for me, it's a 4.5 out of 5. Not a 5 out of 5 because I feel like with some of this Cobras, it probably could scuff up quite quickly. But overall for me, the shape of it, the looks of it, the head cover, 4.5 out of 5. Really, really enjoy the look of this club, which is a great thing because for me, looks are quite important. They shouldn't be, but they are, and I'm sure some of you watching this will probably agree. Price we'll get to last. I think price is the party piece when it comes down to this fairway wood, sorry, in a second. But anyway, forgiveness. I've been umming and ahhing about the forgiveness for this. It's been quite a difficult one because for what this club is, let's be honest, it is for the better ball strikers out there, your lower handicappers, it's your tour shape, as I mentioned, that LS. It has good forgiveness for what it is. So who is it aimed at? We'll find it's got plenty and plenty of forgiveness. But for the average Joe, it doesn't. For me personally, there's a few shots there where you can tell, launch angle went up, didn't hit it that well. Like launch angle suddenly went up to 12. Ball height as well went up, so I didn't quite, a little bit more spin as well. I was only getting total distance of 223 yards, was my shortest. Ball speed dropped all the way down to 133. I mean, it was a hideous hit. It's right out the top here, which is my bad shot. So it was awful. But it just shows that forgiveness isn't really there. That brings the average down. I had two 133 miles per hour. Which again were below that 230 mark total distance. You take them both out, and then suddenly the average is going to shoot right up. So there you go. Just not great hit. So forgiveness 2.5 out of 5. I nearly gave it a 3, but overall I'm going to give it 2.5 out of 5 with the idea of everyone watching in general public. If you are a better player, better ball striker, lower handicapper, etc., you want a fairway wood, this definitely has enough forgiveness for you. 100% definitely has enough forgiveness for you. The forgiveness is really good in it for what it is. Now moving on to price and why I think the price for this is the party piece and the best thing about this club. Price, I've given it a 5 out of 5. And the reason I'm giving it a 5 out of 5 is right now in the UK, in quite a few shops to be fair, so some you could probably even go and get fitted for, you can pick this up for £169 brand new. So that's around $210 over, if you're talking in the US. And I can imagine you can probably pick this up in the US under $200, I would say. £169. If you're looking at brand new fairway woods that just come out this year, which I can't imagine is going to be that much difference between it. You look at most people, most professionals, golfers in there, everything like that, they've all got older fairways in there. It's the one club that they don't go, all right, brand new, brand new, brand new, because they really haven't changed. A lot of them are playing with Titleist TS fairway woods or, the M range from TaylorMade sort of thing. People don't just take out their fairway woods, They like a fairway wood, they know the distance is going to be pretty similar, and so they're happy with it. So for me, it's a great deal because £169 brand new. If you wanted to get a new one, get fitted and get a new one, AI Smoke over here in the UK is £319. So these are probably all around $500, I can imagine, in the US. PXG £319. Dark Speed, which comes in cheaper because it always does, still £279. So this is £100 less. QI10, £309, you know, and then you're looking, well, hold on, I could literally do this and then go and have a lesson, 2 lessons, you know, save yourself £100, put it to another club or something like that. So this is why I think it's a 5 out of 5 because of the brand new price. I think it's awesome. You know, you get yourself one that hasn't been used, hasn't been scuffed up. It's a couple of years old, but it's an absolute rocket ship. And it's not just the LS, you know, the LTDX is £169, the LTDX Max is £169. So great options out there if you want to go and buy something brand new. And that's why I'm giving it a 5 out of 5. Really good, like, deal. If you're looking for brand new clubs, like, probably one of the best deals out there I can imagine at the moment, just how good this club is. Obviously, if you're looking second-hand market, then price drops about £122. If you're looking at Golf Bidder, that's about $150. eBay, you can pick them up for about £80, or including delivery, that is £107. I see another one again under £100, so around that sort of $125 mark. And then if you're going that and you're getting second-hand, then yes, you know, there's lots of options out there. There's TaylorMade M's, you know, out there, you know, the TS from Titleist's, etc. So there are a lot of options out there if you're looking that second hand, and then maybe it wouldn't get a 5 out of 5 in that case. But overall, because of the brand new price you can pick these up for, I'm giving it a 5 out of 5 because I think it's absolutely great. And you know, you can pick it up brand new for £160. You know, go and get fitted for it. If you don't like it, you can sell it and lose maybe 50 quid. It's really not that bad, to be fair, not that bad at all. So there you go, my overall review of the LTD LS fairway wood. Absolute bargain. Performs brilliantly across the face. You know, obviously forgiveness is a little bit down, but you would expect that with an LS model. And great club. And to be honest, my results, yes, I did have a few hits there which were horrendous, and I will probably still have a few hits out there that will be horrendous. But you know, took this out the other day to Leatherhead, local to me. You know, used it quite a bit, to be fair. Used it on a couple of par fives, you know, off the fairway. You know, got me close to those greens. Had to recover from a bad drive again. Hit it in the summer. That would have been on the green, but unfortunately hit puddle and stopped. UK golf, but you know, shot 79, which in, you know, the weather that is at the moment, everything's boggy. You know, 79, really happy with that, and this definitely helped with the score. Hitting it straight, hitting it well on the course. Yes, every now and again I might use a couple of yards because I haven't hit it quite right, but the main thing is it still goes straight for me. So overall, this is going in my bag at the moment until further notice. Obviously, this channel, I might try something new and be like, oh my God, that's amazing, and put it in. But for me, really enjoying it. I think it's a great club. And yeah, I think it's fantastic. And I think exactly what I'm looking for this summer. So there you go. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to give this video a like if you did. Do subscribe down below. Do comment down below if you play any like Cobra clubs, you know, LTDX clubs themselves, or maybe older ones, fairway woods, etc. And tell me what you think about them. And also remember, as I mentioned before, do subscribe to the channel, guys, you know, so you don't miss out on any reviews that are upcoming. All right, then, I'll catch you soon for the next ACS golf video. Have a great week. Well, yeah, see you soon. Bye-bye.